Okay, are we ready to go?
We are ready to go.
Okay, welcome to the City of China Grove. This is the March 24th, 2021 court docket. I just want to inform everyone that we are live streaming on YouTube. So for the individuals that are here on today's docket, do not give us any personal information that you wouldn't want out on the web. For those individuals that are joining us on YouTube, these are legal proceedings, so you are not to record them. For the individuals that are here on the docket as well, they are legal proceedings, so do not record these proceedings. Okay, now, few instructions and information that you need. The City of China Grove is a court of record. What that basically means that we are recording the entire proceedings. Now, when I call your case, I'm going to read the charges that are filed against you, and I'm going to ask you to enter a plea. The three pleas that you need to be aware of is your plea of guilty, where you admit the charges filed against you, your plea of not guilty, where you deny the charges filed against you, or your plea of no contest, where you neither admit it nor deny it. You just want to take care of the business before the court and move on. Now, the reason I say that is because if you enter a plea of guilty or no contest, in essence, you are incriminating yourself. And that's why I want to advise everyone of their constitutional rights. You have the right to remain silent. You don't have to say anything that would incriminate yourself. The state of Texas has the burden of proof to establish your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You have a right to enter a plea of not guilty and request a trial in front of a judge or a jury. You have a right to bring in witnesses to testify on your behalf with regard to the citation, and you have the right to cross-examine the state's witnesses with regard to the citation. So please be aware that these are your constitutional rights, and if you enter a plea of guilty or no contest, in essence, you are waiving those rights. Okay. Now, let me see on the docket if we have anybody with a CDL, and I think we do. I thought I saw one. Yeah, here we go. Okay, for those individuals that have a commercial driver's license, a CDL, and have a moving violation, I do not have the authority to consider probation nor defensive driving. Your only options are to either plead guilty or not guilty. I would ask you to visit with the prosecutor and see if y'all can work something out. But as far as the court is concerned, I do not have the authority to grant defensive driving nor deferred disposition. Now, for any individual that's under the age of 25, you can ask that the court consider deferred or defensive driving. But if you have a moving violation, you will be required to take a defensive driving class. For everyone else, there's two ways to get a ticket dismissed. One, which is the least expensive way, is to take your defensive driving class, okay? And as long as you do everything you're supposed to do it timely, then the case will be dismissed. It will not be reported to the Department of Public Safety. If you're not interested in defensive driving or you don't qualify, you can ask for what we call deferred disposition, and that's nothing more than probation. What that basically does is that it allows me to consider putting you on probation for a period anywhere from 1 day to 180 days. You would have to pay a special expense fee, and if you do everything that's asked of you, then once again, the case will be dismissed. It will not be reported, so therefore it would not show up on your driving record. If you're here and you want to pay the fine or fines, but you don't have the money, let me know. We can do the paperwork today and we can put you on what's known as time pay. What time pay basically means is that we would give you 30 days to pay the fine or fines. If you pay up your fine or fines, then you've satisfied your obligation. However, if you go beyond the 30 days, we will put you on a monthly payment plan of no less than $50 a month. However, the state of Texas mandates a $15 time payment fee. With that, I think we're done as far as the instructions are concerned. What I'm going to do is that for those individuals that are here on video or audio, I'm going to go ahead and ask you to raise your right hand. I will be administering an oath, and I will ask you individually, if you're here on video, if you acknowledge taking the oath, if you'll just give me a thumbs up, that would be sufficient for the court. So if you raise your right hand, do you swear that the testimony you're about to give in this cause will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God? Okay, Mr. Ernesto Galecio, do you acknowledge taking the oath, sir? If you can give me a thumbs up.
Here we go,
Very
sir.
good. Thank you, sir. Lisa Barrera, do you acknowledge taking the oath? Thank you, ma'am. Kirsten Sargent, do you acknowledge taking the oath? Thank you, ma'am. Guadalupe Garcia, do you acknowledge taking the oath? Thank you, sir. Roberto Mendoza, do you acknowledge taking the oath, sir? Thank you. William Ray Lucas, do you acknowledge taking the oath? If I could get a thumbs up. Thank you, sir. Zulma Alvarez, do you acknowledge taking the oath? Thank you, ma'am. Cliff Sandoval, do you acknowledge taking the oath? Thank you, sir. Let's see. Eric Santiago, do you acknowledge taking the oath, sir? Thank you. Give me a thumbs up. There you go. Great. Jonathan Gonzalez, do you acknowledge taking the oath? You give me a thumbs up if you acknowledge it, sir. Very good. Thank you. Giselle Murillo, do you acknowledge taking the oath? If I get a thumbs up. Thank you, ma'am. Juan Jimenez, do you acknowledge taking the oath, sir? Thank you, sir. Okay, for the rest of y'all that are on audio, I will ask you when I call your case up. Okay, I tell you what, let's go ahead and see Mr. Mead.
Yes, Your Honor.
Were you and Mr. Collins able to reach any kind of an agreement?
Yes, we were, Your Honor.
Okay. Now, let me ask you this. Mr. Collins, is one of the parents or a juvenile of Mr. Vallejo present?
No, I don't know, Your Honor. I don't think so unless he's there at home with one of his mom.
Okay, is he here?
He's here.
Your Honor. He's here but via phone.
Okay, Mr. Vallejo, can you unmute yourself, sir?
Yeah, can y'all hear me?
Mr. Vallejo, can you hear me okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Vallejo, is either one of your parents or guardian present with you?
No, sir.
Okay, okay. Well, unfortunately, Mr. Mead and Mr. Collins, I cannot accept a plea without a parent or a guardian being present. So I don't know, Mr. Collins, if we're able to get a hold of one of the parents or a guardian, or we can reset it to a time that they're available.
I don't know what Jesse Jr.'s situation is. Is your mom available anywhere, Jesse?
No, not today, because she's at work right now.
Okay, and your father's out of state. Do you think he can join via phone?
I think my dad might be able to join, yes.
Okay.
Your Honor, if you'll give me a little while, I'll call his father on his cell phone and see if I can
Sure.
get him to join.
That'd be great. I appreciate that, Mr. Collins.
Then I will get back with you, Your Honor.
Okay, great. Thank you. Just let us know if you were able to.
Yeah, don't leave, Jesse.
Okay.
I'm just going to mute Chelsea. Y'all can take care of that, okay?
Okay, Clarissa, can we go ahead and while we're waiting, can we get the order that we're going to call the docket?
Okay, page 6. The only person on page 6, Ernesto Galecio. He is number 1.
Okay,
Clifford Sandoval is on page 5. He is at the very bottom. He's number 2.
okay,
We're going to go to page 2. At the top, Gordon Williford, 4 violations, number 3.
okay,
Okay, we're going to go to page 4. And at the very bottom, Journey Musmeyer. She's going to be number 4.
okay,
Page 3, for the bottom, well, it is the bottom, Raymond Flores, 5 violations is number 5.
now what's the name?
Raymond Flores at the bottom, very bottom of page 3.
Okay,
Sorry, I
Number
probably
what?
turned. Did you find him, John?
Number 4?
He's number 5.
5, okay.
Okay. Page 2 is Lisa Barrera. She is in the middle. She's got 1 violation, no, she got two. Lisa
Two
Marie Barrera, she's number 6. Go to page 1, toward the bottom, Giselle Murillo, or Murillo. She's got 3 violations, she's number 7. Page 1 also is, in the middle, we have Jonathan Lee Gonzalez. He's number 8. Page 2. The very last person on page 2, Kristen Sargent, is number 9. Also on page 2, Juan Jimenez is in the middle. Juan Marcus Jimenez. He's number 10. On page 4, toward the bottom, Guadalupe Garcia. 4 violations, she's number 11. Page 5, we have in the middle, Eric Santiago Jimenez. He's number 12. Back on page 2, we have Jesse Vallejo, who you just talked to with Michael Collins. He has 1 violation at the very top of page 2, and he is number 13. Also on page 2, we have in the middle, Zulma Leticia Alvarez. She's number 14. Then we have Robert Mendoza. Should be, let's see, we didn't write his page number. Hang on just a, okay, he's on page 5. In the middle, Roberto Mendoza. He's number 15. Also on page 5, right above Roberto Mendoza, is William Ray Lucas. He's number 16. And then we should have somebody, I think is calling in right now. Let me see. Let's see. This should be, the one I'm admitting right now should be on page 5 toward the top, Jeremiah Hinkle. He's a juvenile and I think he's here. Oh, that doesn't look like him though. This might be the father of Jesse Vallejo. Okay, let's skip Jeremiah Hinkle because he hasn't called in apparently yet. He was supposed to. Okay, let's see who this is. Hello, sir. What is your name?
Oh, how you doing?
I'm good. What's your name?
My name is Keith Bigley.
Keith.
Bigley, B-I-G-L-E-Y.
B-I-C-L-E-Y.
On page 3,
I don't see Mr. Bickley on the docket.
he's on page 3, a little bit below the middle of the page.
I don't see him either.
Oh, yeah, I see
Oh,
him.
there he is. Bigley. Okay. I spelled it wrong. B-I-G-L-E-Y.
Does he have a number?
Okay, so he's going to be number 17.
Okay.
Trying to see how to turn up the volume so I can hear you a little better.
Okay. Is there a child here? No, must have been here. Okay.
Okay, Clarissa, did we lose Mr. Collins?
I think he left to try to contact Mr.
Oh,
Vallejo.
yeah, maybe he told Jesse to stay here though. So maybe he'll just call back in when he contacts.
Okay, well, let me know when he's in.
Okay, do we want to send John to the breakout room with someone else?
Before you do that, Mr.
My
Neal,
recommendation?
did you read did you have an agreement with Mr. Collins?
Yes, Your Honor. State's recommending 30 days deferred, $150 fee.
How long was the deferred? I'm sorry, John.
30 days. This is a driver's license. He
Oh,
got his
okay.
permit.
Okay, I think Mr. Collins is back somewhere. Yeah, he's on
Yeah,
the
there-
phone,
He's on the phone.
but it doesn't look like his audio is picked up yet.
There he
Okay.
is. Mike?
I don't think his audio's working. Hmm.
Looks like he's gone again. Oh,
Well,
he-
Mr. Mead, why don't we do this? Since I do have your offer, I'll just have him confirm that.
Okay,
And I'll take a plea from Mr. Vallejo.
when his father shows up.
Yes.
And Your Honor, if we can do this, that's going to be my offer. If he has to come do it sometime between now and the next court date, that'd be fine too.
Okay, yeah, yeah. I've got to take a plea with a parent and.
Oh, I know, I understand.
Right, okay. Clarissa, if you want to send Mr. Mead in there with the first person who needs to talk.
It's on page 2, John. He
Who am I
has
going-
page 2, Gordon Williford, and he has 4 violations. Mr. Williford, I'm going to send you into the breakout. Where are you? I don't even see Mr. Williford.
I'm right here.
Oh,
There
there
you
you are. These screens keep moving around. I'm losing everybody. Okay. Let me add a room real quick here. Oh, there's Michael Collins again, too.
I'm going to go ahead and go to the breakout room when it comes up though.
Okay.
Okay, why don't we go ahead and, once you do that, Clarissa, we'll get started with Mr. Galesio.
Okay, let me bring Mr. Collins back in. I think he's trying again. There we go. Hi, Mr. Collins. Were you able to get a hold of?
Yes, I did. His father,
Oh.
yes, he should be calling in. You're 605-7119 is his phone number.
What were the last 4 digits? I'm sorry.
I think 7119.
Okay, I'll look for that. I'll admit him as soon as I see him come up. In the meantime, I think Judge is going to handle somebody else real quick, okay?
Okay, thank you, Clarissa.
Mhm.
Okay, Mr. Galesio.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, good. Mr. Galesio, you have 2 charges here. One is an improper lane change. To that charge, how do you plead?
I plead guilty.
Okay, and then you also have a charge of failed to maintain insurance. How do you plead?
I plead guilty too, Your Honor.
All right, let's talk about the improper lane change, sir. What did you want to do with that citation?
I just want to pay Mr. Judge. And it was my fault. I was in a hurry that night. I was trying to get home.
Okay, are you not interested in defensive driving or deferred?
Deferred. Right now, I'm currently going through a new job change.
Okay,
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
all right, so you just want to pay that fine?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead now. Are you gonna be able to pay that today or do you need some time?
Yes, sir. I can pay it today.
Okay, all right, so I'm gonna go ahead and do a straight pay for $195. Okay, now with regard to the insurance, sir, do you have insurance now?
Yes, sir. I do.
Okay,
I got that fixed out.
great. Let me give you your options and you tell me what's best for you, okay?
Yes, sir.
If you just want to pay the fine, I can reduce it down to $200 and you can either pay that today or we can give you some time to pay. If you're interested in deferred to keep it off of your record, we can put you on probation for 6 months, which would require you to pay a deferred fee of $300 and then maintain insurance for 6 months. And as long
Yes,
as
sir.
you pay your fee and you maintain the coverage, then it'll be dismissed.
Yes, sir. Well,
You want to do that?
yes, sir.
Okay, all right, so I'm gonna go ahead and place you on deferred for 180 days. Deferred fee is $300. And how are you gonna pay that, sir?
With my credit card.
Okay, so you'll pay today. Very good.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so what you need to do, Mr. Galicio, is just make sure that you maintain your insurance, no lapse in coverage. And then at the end of 6 months, you'll turn in your proof of insurance, and then at that point, it'll be dismissed if you
Yes,
were
sir.
able to maintain it, okay? I'm sorry, go ahead.
If I ever do, right now I'm looking for other options in my insurance. If I ever do come across a new insurance in the future, can I just turn that one in?
Yes, as
All
long,
right.
as long as you maintain coverage with whatever insurance company you decide to go with.
And how do I turn that in, Judge?
They will give you a court date and you'll mail all that stuff on or before that day. Actually,
Okay.
before that day. And then we'll look at it at that point, and then if everything is in order, we'll go ahead and dismiss it at that time.
Okay.
All
Yes,
right.
sir.
Okay,
Appreciate
Clarissa, do you want Mr. Galicio to call in?
Yes, please.
Why don't we, before you do that, Clarissa, if everyone will take out either a pen or a pencil and write this number down, that way y'all can call in once we dispose of your case. Okay, Clarissa, go ahead.
Okay, the number you need to call to handle your case after you're done with the judge is 210-648-4923. I'm going to say it one more time, okay? It's 210-648-4923.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you for appearing, Mr. Galicia. I'm gonna go ahead and release you now. Make sure you call
Appreciate it.
today.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Bye-bye. Okay, let's see, Mr. Collins, let's see, do we have?
We have somebody that just came in. I'm not sure if it's Mr. Vallejo's parent. Let me see if I can find out who it is. The last three numbers are 721.
Mike, do you know if that's your client's?
No,
father?
I just called him right now. He's getting on. My guy's gonna be getting on right now. He's gonna call in.
Hi, if your phone number ends in 721, what is your name? Hello,
Yes, ma'am.
what is your name?
Daniel Mauricio.
How do you spell your last name?
Mauricio.
I've already talked to you. Nick.
Okay, Clarissa, he's on page 4, third one down.
Right, that's going to be number 18.
Got it.
Okay, John, do you want to go ahead and talk about Mr. Williford since still waiting?
Ah, that works.
There you go.
I'd like to request court to give Mr. Williford one final reset. And if we could extend it out a bit to 60 days, he's got a few things he needs to take care of. And I want to give him a chance to get that taken care of.
Okay, Mr. Mead, do you think that should give him enough time to finalize this?
He told me that it would. He's here. He's Mr. Williford, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah, Mr. Williford, and I'm okay with giving you a 60-day reset, but you've already had 2 before this one, and I just want to go ahead and try to make sure we take care of it within the 60-day period.
Correct. Yes, sir. It should be enough time.
I mean, Your Honor, Mr. Williford and I have an understanding that if he doesn't have it done by then, we're just going to go ahead and let him pay on all these tickets.
Okay, all right, very
Is
good.
that correct, Mr. Williford?
That is correct.
Okay, sounds fair to me. I'm going to go ahead and grant the 60-day reset, Clarissa.
Okay, great.
Okay, Mr. Williford, you can go ahead and log off now, sir. You'll be getting a new court date in the mail.
All right. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Mr. Vallejo's father is trying to come on right now.
There he
believe
is,
this time.
119, Clarissa. I see it on the screen.
Great, okay. See if he can unmute. There we go.
Mr.
Okay.
Collins, what is his name?
Jesse Vallejo Senior, well, Jesse Vallejo. His son is Jesse James Vallejo.
Okay.
Hello?
Hi, Mr. Vallejo, just one moment.
Okay.
Okay, can I proceed, Clarissa?
Yes, I'm sorry.
Okay, Mr. Vallejo, the father, can you hear me, sir?
Yes, I could.
Okay, Mr. Vallejo, I apologize for having to bring you in. The only thing is that under the law, since your son is a juvenile, before I
Mhm.
take leave from him, a parent has to be present. So we'll get you back to work as soon as we can.
Okay.
Okay, Mr. Mead, can you go ahead and tell us once again what the agreement is?
30 days deferred, Your Honor, for a deferred fee of $150.
Okay, and what type of plea, Mr. Collins, is Mr. Vallejo going to enter?
No contest, Your Honor.
Contest, all right. Okay, and Mr. Collins, is that the agreement with the state?
That is, Your Honor.
Very good. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and accept his plea of no contest to the charge of no driver's license. I'm going to go ahead and place him on deferred for 30 days, no similar violations, and a deferred fee of $150. How will that be paid, Mr. Collins?
I'll pay that today, Your Honor, by credit card.
Okay, great. Okay, Mr. Collins, is there any questions, sir?
None for me, Your Honor. Jesse Senior, did you hear the agreement?
Yes, sir. Everything's good.
Okay, Jesse Junior, did you hear that you're going to be on probation for 30 days?
He's muted, Mike.
Yeah, we need to unmute
Okay.
Mr. There you go.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, Jesse, do you understand that that means no similar violations, so you can't be driving without a license?
Yes.
Okay, very good. All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and follow the plea bargain agreement as we said it in the record. Is there anything else, Mr. Mead?
Nothing for me, Your Honor.
Mr. Collins, anything else?
Just quick question procedurally, Your Honor. Clarissa, I guess it's Clarissa.
Yes.
Will you be sending me some sort of link, or how do I pay that via credit?
If you want to just call in and give us the number, the credit card number, we'll go ahead and run it, and then we'll mail you the deferred order and your receipt.
Okay, now it's 648.
Uh-huh.
What was the last-
4923.
Okay, I'll do
Okay.
that. I
Thank you,
appreciate it.
Mr. Collins.
May we be excused, Your Honor.
Yes, sir. Thank you for appearing.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you, John.
Good to see you, Mike.
Thank you, Mr. Vallejo and Jesse. Thank you for appearing.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay, y'all can log off now.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Collins. Okay, John, we have your next breakout room with Journey Mossmeyer on page 4 at the bottom. She has 3 violations.
Okay.
Journey, if you can unmute yourself, you're going to go in the breakout room with Mr. Mead.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, Judge, and that leaves us with
Clifford Sandoval.
Clifford Sandoval. 1 violation.
Okay, Mr. Sandoval, let me see if I can find you here.
No, it gets a little hard to locate him.
Well, I saw him earlier.
I did too. There he is. He's, well, I don't know where he's at on yours. Do you see him?
Yes, I do. Okay. Mr. Sandoval, can you hear me, sir?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Very good. Mr. Sandoval, you've been charged with the offense of driving while license invalid or suspended. To that charge, sir, how do you plead?
Not guilty.
Not guilty. Okay, now what I'm going to do is ask you to visit with the prosecutor. If y'all are able to reach an agreement, that would be great. However, if you do not, we're going to have to set it down for a trial. Now, did you want a trial in front of a judge or a jury?
Preferably neither, but I guess a judge would be fine.
Okay, all right. All right, very good. Well, hopefully y'all can reach some type of an agreement. If not, then we'll set it down on a non-jury trial. So if you'll just stand by until Mr. Mead gets back.
Okay,
Thank you, sir.
thank you.
Okay, Judge, that leaves us with Lisa Barrera on page 2.
Lisa Barrera. Okay, number 6.
Yes.
Okay, Miss Barrera, let me see where you are. There you are. Okay, Miss Barrera, you have 2 citations, ma'am. One is driving while license invalid. To that charge, how do you plead?
Guilty.
Okay, and you also have a charge of failed to maintain insurance. How do you plead?
Guilty.
Okay, now let's talk about your driver's license. Why is it invalid or suspended?
I had a bunch of fines and tickets, but the last time that I went to court, I told you I had an appointment on the 10th, so I got my license.
You have it now. Okay, and it was just for outstanding tickets?
Yes, sir.
Okay, ma'am, but that's been taken care of. And what did you want to do with this citation, ma'am?
The cheapest thing I can do because I'm barely going to start working.
Okay, the cheapest thing you can do. Well, I mean, if you want to pay a straight fine, I can reduce it.
But I want to get it off the record, though. I don't want it on my record.
Okay, well now in that situation, and since you've already corrected, I can do a deferred for, let me see here. I can do a deferred for $250 and for 30 days.
Okay.
Okay, now would you be able to pay that today?
I could pay half of it today.
Okay, all right. Well, I'll tell you what, let's, before you do that, what about the insurance ticket? What did you want to do on that one?
Well, I guess probation too, if I can.
Probation? Okay, we'll go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and grant you the deferred on the insurance ticket for 6 months. By the way, do you have insurance now?
Yes, sir. I've been having it since that day.
Okay, and I'm gonna go ahead and place you on deferred for 6 months. You have to maintain insurance for 6 months. It's gonna be a $300 deferred fee. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna ask you to pay the court cost today. And then we will give you 30 days to pay the balance on the driving while license invalid, and we'll give you 6 months to pay the insurance.
Okay. That'll work.
Okay? All right. Okay.
Judge, driving while license invalid was for 30 days, 250?
30 days, 250. And she's going to pay court costs today and then the balance in 30 days.
Okay. Lisa, do you know the court costs that you'll need to pay today are $81 on each one, okay?
Okay.
That's what's due today. So you'll have to call that 648 number and pay that today, or you can come
Okay.
by. We'll be here till about
Okay.
4:30.
Okay, sounds
Okay.
good.
All right.
Okay. All right. Do you have any questions, ma'am?
No, sir.
All right. Well, thank you for appearing.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
John's not back yet.
No. It looks like we're going to Kirsten Sargent on page 2. Is that correct, Clarissa? Okay, Miss Sargent, can you hear me, ma'am? Okay, if you can unmute yourself. Should be a little button there on the lower left-hand corner.
How's that? Is that better?
Much better. I can hear you now.
Good
Okay.
afternoon.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Ms. Sargent, thank you for appearing. You have a citation for driving while license invalid. To that charge, how do you plead?
Not guilty, Your Honor.
Not guilty, okay.
It
All
was
right.
actually, we had the officer run it, and it was actually not invalid, it was expired.
Okay, so then, all right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and dismiss that charge.
Okay.
Okay, now, Ms. Sergeant, I'm gonna go ahead and dismiss that, okay? Now,
Okay.
that does not mean that the state can turn around and file for an expired license. I don't know if they'll do it or they won't, but that is a possibility.
Well, so when I was talking to the officer, because he actually said expired when I was talking to him, I had a waiver because my birthday was when COVID happened, and they had said that they were gonna give me a waiver. And on the form I have, it says all local and state law enforcement officials have been notified of this expiration waiver. And so when I got pulled over and I handed him my license, he said that he didn't find any waiver, but just to bring the letter when I saw you guys, because I have this one and then I have the other one. They said that they would contact me when it was time for me to go back in and get my license. And I got the ticket on January 24th, and then I got my letter on February 9th to come in to renew my license. So I
Okay,
have the
well, let me do
paperwork.
this, Ms. Sergeant, hold on to those letters. Now, I don't know if
Okay.
the state is gonna refile, they may not. If
Okay,
they do refile, then you may wanna go ahead and submit that letter.
And we
okay,
do have copies of those as well that she's provided us, Judge.
Okay, well, we'll just notify the prosecutor of that information, and then it'll be up to him if he wants to refile or not.
okay, thank you.
Okay, but as far as this charge today, it's gonna go ahead and get dismissed, so you're free to go.
All right, thank you, Your Honor. You have a good day.
Thank you, ma'am. You
Have
too.
a good day, Carissa. You have a
Thank
good day.
you.
Thanks, bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, I see we have Mr. Mead back, and you were talking to who, Mr. Mead?
I was talking to Journey Mossmeyer and I don't see, there she is. She just got here.
What, okay, there she is on page
Yes.
4. Okay. Okay, do we have Ms. Mossmeyer? Okay, Ms. Mossmeyer, can you hear me, ma'am?
Yes, sir. I can hear you.
All right, Mr. Mead, were you able to reach an agreement?
Yes, we were, Your Honor.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
what do we have?
On the failure to maintain insurance, Ms. Mossmeyer's got insurance now, so I'm going to recommend 6 months deferred for deferred fee of $300, condition that she maintain insurance for the 6 months. On the possession of drug paraphernalia, I'm going to recommend 120 days deferred fee of $375. And the failed to provide evidence of insurance, I'm going to no price that with the court's permission.
Okay, Ms. Mossmeyer, is that your understanding of the agreement?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right, now since I have you on audio, I'm gonna ask you, do you acknowledge taking the oath I administered earlier, ma'am?
Yes, sir. I did.
Okay,
May
very
I
good.
add something, Your Honor?
Sure.
Yeah, the Ms. Mossmeyer is going to pay the court costs on both of those violations, the possession of paraphernalia and the failed to maintain insurance today. And I was going to give her, with the court's permission, 90 days to pay the balance of $513.
513, okay,
I believe that's the balance. Total's $675.
okay, very good. Okay, okay, and now is that your understanding, Ms. Mossmeyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right, Ms. Mossmeyer, I'm gonna go ahead and follow the plea bargain agreement to the charge of failed to maintain insurance. How do you plead?
I guess
Guilty or no
guilty for that
contest? I'm sorry?
Guilty. Guilty.
All right, and to the charge of possession or delivery of drug paraphernalia, how do you plead?
No contest.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna go ahead and accept your plea of guilty to the charge of failed to maintain insurance. I'm gonna go ahead and place you on deferred for 6 months with a special expense fee of $300. Condition that you maintain insurance for the duration of the 6-month period. You will pay the court costs today, and you will have 90 days to pay the balance. With regard to the possession or
Yes.
delivery of drug paraphernalia, I'm going to accept your plea of no contest. I'm going to go ahead and place you on deferred for 120 days with a special expense fee of $375. You will pay the $81 court cost today, and you will have 90 days to pay the balance. With regard to the charge of failed to provide evidence of insurance, the state is non-prosecuting that charge, so I'm going to go ahead and dismiss that violation. Okay, Mr. Me, did I miss anything?
No, Your Honor, not that I can recall.
Very good. Okay, Ms. Mossmeyer, do you have any questions, ma'am?
No, sir.
Okay, now do you have the number to call in to pay that court cost?
Yes, sir, I do.
Very good. Okay, just make sure you get it done before the end of the day.
Yes, sir, I will. Thank you.
Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and excuse you now.
Okay, thank you so much. Y'all have a wonderful day.
Thank you, ma'am.
Bye-bye.
Great, John. I have Clifford Sandoval. He has one violation only, but he wants to talk to you about it. He had pled not guilty.
Where is it?
He is on page 5 toward the bottom.
Okay.
Mr. Sandoval, be sure and unmute yourself before you go in the room.
Okay, Clarissa, let's see, who is,
How about Juan Jimenez on page 2?
page 2. Very good. Okay, Mr. Juan Jimenez, can you unmute yourself, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right, very good. Mr. Jimenez, you have 2 citations. One is for an expired registration. How do you plead?
Not guilty.
Not guilty. Okay, and you have a charge of possession of drug paraphernalia. How do you plead?
Not guilty.
Okay, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna ask you to visit with the prosecutor, see if y'all can work something out. But if y'all cannot work anything out, we have to set it down for a trial. Did you want a trial in front of a judge or a jury?
Judge is fine, sir.
Judge is fine. Okay, if you'll just stand by, he'll visit with you shortly.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
Okay, then that leaves us with Eric Santiago Jimenez. And he is on page 5. He's number 12 on page 5, Judge.
There he is. Okay, Mr. Eric Jimenez.
Yes, sir. Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Jimenez, you have 2 charges. One is for failed to maintain insurance. To that charge, how do you plead?
Guilty, Your Honor.
Okay, all right, now the second, since you are pleading guilty to the failure to maintain insurance, I'm gonna go ahead and dismiss the failure to provide evidence of insurance, okay?
Thanks, Your Honor.
Now, what did you want to do on the failure to maintain insurance, sir?
I can just go ahead and pay it.
You want to pay it? Okay,
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and do a straight. Now, you understand it's going to go on your record.
What would I have to do in order for not to go in my record?
We would have to do a deferred disposition. Now, that would be $300 plus maintain insurance for 6 months with no lapse in coverage. Now, as far as paying the fine, I can reduce it to $200, but like I said, it would go on your record.
I can do the 300. It's just got when I get my CDL and I'm trying to keep my driving record clean, Your Honor. So yeah, I can go ahead and pay it.
Okay. Now, when you say pay it, pay the deferred or pay the fine?
Which one would not go in my record?
The deferred.
The deferred, yeah, the deferred, sir.
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and place you on deferred for 6 months. A special expense fee of $300. And how are you gonna pay that, sir?
Cash.
Okay, you're gonna do it today or when are you gonna do it?
If it's possible, we'll need some time, sir. Your Honor, if it's possible.
Okay, well, let me ask you this. Can you pay $81 today?
Yes, Your Honor, I can.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and ask you to pay the court cost of $81 today. and then we will give you the 6 months to pay the balance.
Yes, sir.
All right? Okay, did you write down that number where you have to call it in, sir?
No, I don't, sir. I can go ahead and,
Okay. Is that the number on the screen, Clarissa, 684?
Yes, it is. Can you
Okay.
see that?
no,
Eric?
ma'am.
Okay. It's 210
210
648
648
4923.
4923. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I'm going to go ahead and excuse you. Make sure you pay that today, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Mead, let's see, who were you visiting with?
I was visiting with Clifford Sandoval, Your Honor. He's back in the courtroom.
Okay, got him.
He
Okay.
pled not guilty, and he wants to persist in his plea of not guilty.
Okay, it's my understanding, Mr. Sandoval, that you're requesting a non-jury trial. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and schedule it for a non-jury trial, and we'll send you notice of that.
Okay.
Mr. Sandoval, are you still on Country View Drive?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
That's
Thank
where
you.
we'll mail your form.
Yes, and your excuse, sir.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Okay, John Mead, I have you going in the breakout room with Raymond Flores. He is on page 3 toward the bottom. Mr. Flores, if you can unmute yourself, you're going to go talk to John Mead, okay?
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, Judge, we have another juvenile.
That Roberto Mendoza?
Yes, and I
Okay,
don't know if he has anybody here with him.
Okay, well, let's find out. Mr. Mendoza.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Mendoza, I understand that you are 15 years old, is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, do you have either one of your parents or a guardian available?
No, not right now, sir.
Okay, well, we're gonna have to reset your cases, sir, because you are a juvenile, I cannot take a plea in open court without a parent or a guardian. Okay?
Okay.
So I'm gonna go ahead and reset you for 30 days.
Are you on Farmview Loop, Mr. Mendoza?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, we're gonna mail your new court date to that, but you have to be sure and have a parent or guardian, a legal guardian present when you call in the next time. Actually, we're gonna probably have court here that time, so it won't be through Zoom. So they'll have to be able to come into court with you,
Okay.
okay?
Okay.
So we'll go ahead and mail that to you, okay?
Okay.
If we're gonna excuse you, Mr. Mendoza, you can go ahead and log off now, sir.
Okay, thank you. Have a nice day.
Thank you. You too.
Well, Judge, I think everybody else has multiples.
Let's see, we have Mr. Atencio. Atencio.
Who is that?
On page 4, number 18 up on top.
Oh, I didn't even pull him out yet.
Is he here?
He should be here. Daniel Mauricio? Yeah, he's there. He's muted. Can you unmute yourself?
So Daniel Mauricio is number 18, Clarissa?
Yes, he was going 25 over.
Right, okay. Okay, Mr. Mauricio. Can you unmute yourself, sir?
If I request, oh, there he goes.
Okay, Mr. Mauricio, do you acknowledge taking the oath that I administered earlier, sir?
No.
Okay, I'm going to ask you to raise your right hand. And do you swear the testimony you're about to give in this call will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you God.
Yes, sir.
Okay, you can put your hand down now, Mr. Mauricio. Mr. Mauricio, you have a charge of speeding 60 and a 35. To that charge, sir, how do you plead?
Guilty.
Okay, and what did you want to do with the citation, sir?
I saw the speed limit sign. It was 40. But I know he wrote down 35, and it doesn't give me the right to speed either way. But I was trying to get it off my record. I'm trying to get my CDL.
Okay, now you have a regular license now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Okay, so we can do a deferred. Now, you don't qualify for the defensive driving because you were doing over 25 miles, but I can do it as a deferred. The only problem, Mr. Mauricio, is going to be a expensive. Okay? Yeah. Well, I mean, you're trying to do your best.
Yeah.
Okay, we're looking at, right now, the recommend fine is $295. I can do it for $350, sir. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and place you on deferred for 120 days. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Now let me ask you this: can you pay at least $134 today?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Can you pay? How much can you pay today?
150. We could do half of it. Or I can. You know what? I can probably do 200. I'll do 200.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and pay $200 today, and then we'll give you the 120 days to pay the balance.
Okay, sir.
Okay. And did you write down that number that you need to call that in, sir?
Yes, sir. Sure did.
Very good. Clarissa, do we need anything else from Mr. Mauricio?
No, just as long as he calls in to take care of it, we're good.
All right.
Okay.
Mr. Mauricio,
Thank you,
call
Judge.
in today, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Have a good day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Somebody just joined us, Judge. Let me see if I can. If you're just joining us and your last three digits are 043, can you give me your name, please?
Juan Garcia.
He's on page
Hello?
1.
Okay, just one second, Mr. Garcia.
Yes. No problem.
On page 1, Judge.
Yes, and he'd be number 19.
19. So he has also 3 violations.
Yes, Mr. Mead is going to be busy.
Yes, he is.
Okay, we have Mr. Mead back.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Mead, who were you visiting with?
With Raymond Flores, and he's back too, Your Honor.
Okay, where is he at?
I'm right here, sir.
Right there, okay. Let me see if I can. Okay, Raymond Jacob Flores?
Yes, sir.
All right, very good. Okay, Mr. Mead, were y'all able to reach an agreement?
No, Your Honor, we've got a couple of issues with Mr. Flores. I believe this is his first appearance, and I was going to request the court to give him a 60-day reset to clear some stuff up so we can work out these 5 tickets. One of the things he needs to do is he got his registration done the next day, but he's going to have to go back and pay the late registration fee. Now that's not going to hold up the case that long. What's the problem is the driver's license. He's got his appointment to take his driving test on May the 5th. And if we give him 60 days, that should be plenty of time for him to get that done and get back.
Okay, very
I
good.
told him everything he needs to do when he comes back on the next reset day.
Okay, Mr. Flores, is that pretty much your understanding of the agreement with Mr. Mead?
Yes, sir.
Great. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and grant the reset for 60 days. And let's try to get that thing done. Okay, Mr. Flores?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Okay, Clarissa, do we need anything from Mr. Flores?
Mr. Flores, are you still in apartment number 201?
Emerald Dash?
Yes,
Yes, ma'am. It's one
Okay.
of, wait. Yeah, yes, ma'am. That's right.
201. Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
gotcha. That's where we'll mail you your new court date, okay?
All right, thank y'all.
Okay, Mr.
Thank you.
Flores.
Have a good
you can
day.
log off. Thank you, sir.
Y'all have a good one.
You too.
Okay, John, it looks like everybody's yours from here on in, so
Typical.
yes. So you're gonna go with Giselle Murillo. She's on page 1 toward the bottom.
Okay.
Okay.
Hello?
Yeah, yes.
Hi, Giselle. You're gonna go in the breakout room with the prosecutor.
Okay. Sounds good. Thank you.
Uh-huh. And now we got somebody else coming in, Juan Jimenez. We must have lost him. I guess he's back. Hi, Juan, you're back.
Sorry, I got kicked out.
Okay, no problem. We got you.
Okay, Clarissa, I guess while we're waiting, we can go ahead and call the docket.
Yes, sir.
It is already 1:57. Okay.
No, I'm on mine.
Sorry?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Okay.
All righty, let's go ahead and call the docket for the City of China Grove, March 24th, 2021. The following individuals did not appear for their court date. Joseph Hugh Tyler Carston is a no-show.
Judge Carrie Claridge,
Yes?
she did come in and comply and take care of deferred today.
Okay. Okay, and then Stephen Vasquez as a no-show.
Oh, sorry, yes.
Okay, and then Jason Patrick Hansen. on the bottom.
Jason Patrick Hansen did come in. He was granted the extra 2 weeks to take care of his driving safety course. He dropped it off with us this afternoon.
Okay, so he's taken care of.
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good. Went on to page 2. We have Zulma Leticia, no, I'm sorry, strike that. Pauline Yusilia Piper as a no-show. Top of page 3, Jose Luis Valdez, no-show. Brian Scott Tate, no-show. Edward Howard Zuniga, no-show. Takes us to page 4. B. John Vasquez Atenco, no-show. Noe Isidro Angeles,
He
no-show.
did call in, sir. He needs an interpreter, so we're going to schedule him at a later date with the rest of the ones that need interpreters.
Okay,
He actually joined us at the beginning of court, but we went ahead and released him because he needed the interpreter.
okay, good, good.
Okay, and then we also have right below him Pedro Villarreal. Came in this afternoon and paid.
Paid, okay, very good. Then we have Ariel Francine Pacheco as a no-show. Samuel Casey Jarwatowicz as a no-show. Then go on to page 5. Jeremiah Nichols Hinckley as a no-show. Prince Anthony Boyd.
I'm here, sir.
Mr. Hinkle's here? Oh, you sure are. There you are.
Okay, what number do we have, Mr.?
He is not, he's the last one because I guess he just logged in and we admitted him.
He'd be 19 or 20?
He will be number 20.
20, okay.
Juan Garcia's 19.
Got him, okay. Prince Anthony Boyd as a no-show. Bobby Glenn Alexander as a no-show. Angel Balmero Gonzalez as a no-show. Kyle Ray Newland as a no-show. And I think that's it. Okay, we have Mr. Mead back.
Judge, on, did you call Angel Valdermo
Yeah,
Gonzalez.
yes.
He paid. He did pay
paid.
today, this afternoon.
What page is he?
He's
on?
the almost the last one on page 5.
Oh, there he is. Okay, so he paid.
He did pay.
Okay.
Okay, and that should be everybody.
Okay.
Oh, and we have Mr. Mead back.
Mr. Mead, who were you visiting with?
Mr. Mead is back. Giselle Murillo, Your Honor.
Number 7 on page 1.
That's correct.
Okay, and were y'all able to reach an agreement?
No, we weren't, Your Honor. Ms. Murillo has informed me that she wants to plead not guilty to all 3 charges. I did not inquire whether she wanted a jury or non-jury trial.
Okay, I'll ask her right now. Mrs. Murillo, can you hear me?
Yes, I can, Your Honor.
Okay, Ms. Murillo, it's my understanding you're entering a plea of not guilty to the charge of expired registration, following too closely and changed lanes when unsafe. Now, did you want a trial in front of a judge or a jury?
Judge.
Judge, okay.
Oh,
Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and set these down for a non-jury trial. And Mrs. Murillo, we're gonna go ahead and send you a court date for that.
Okay.
Clarissa, any information from Ms. Murillo?
I just need to know if you're still in apartment number 3.
It's gonna be 1203.
Okay, so same street, 36th Street, but 1203.
No. Do you want me to
Okay,
call you
I don't want to
back?
take,
Yeah, I'll give you a call.
that would be great. Yeah, because
yeah.
we need to know where to mail your form to. So give us a call so that we don't say it on here.
Okay. What time do you want me to give you a call? What's best for you?
Just sometime before 4 today.
Before 4? Okay, sounds perfect.
Okay,
Off.
thank you, Giselle.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Murillo.
All right. Thank you, Judge. You have a good day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
We have Jonathan Gonzalez. He is on page 1 in the middle.
okay. All right. There he is, Mr.
Oops. Okay, Jonathan Gonzalez, are you unmuted? Unmute yourself so you can talk to John Mead.
Unmute.
Okay.
Clarissa, I'll be right back.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, we have Mr. Mead back.
Mr. Gonzalez is not back yet, is, no, he's not.
There he
There-
goes.
There he is. Okay.
He's, Mr. Gonzalez? There you are. Okay. You can unmute. Yeah, Mr. Gonzalez and I had a conversation about these 3 pending violations, Your Honor.
Okay.
Mr. Gonzalez informed me that he wants to enter pleas of not guilty to the Rand stop sign and expired registration. He wants to enter a plea of either guilty or no contest on the insurance, 6 months deferred, condition maintain insurance, special expense fee of $300 with the court's permission.
Okay. Okay, Mr. Gonzalez, is that your understanding of the agreement with regard to the failed to maintain insurance, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right. And how do you plead to that charge?
Guilty.
Guilty? Okay, I'm going to go ahead and accept your plea of guilty to the charge of failed to maintain insurance, place you on deferred for 6 months, special expense fee of $300, and maintain insurance for that 6-month period with no lapses. And the court cost, sir, is, let's see, $66. How much of that 300 can you pay today?
I could pay the 150.
150? Okay.
Sure.
Okay, then we'll give you the 6 months to pay the balance. Okay, and then to the charge of running a stop sign, you're entering a plea of not guilty, as well as a plea of not guilty to the charge of an expired registration. Mr. Gonzalez, did you want a trial in front of a judge or a jury?
Judge.
Judge, okay. All right. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and set those down on a non-jury docket. And Clarissa, do we need any information from Mr. Gonzalez?
Mr. Gonzalez, no, we have a good address. I believe you're in apartment 7301.
Ma'am.
Okay, if you can call today by 4 to pay the 150, please.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, do you have the phone number, Jonathan? You got it?
Okay.
Okay.
All right, Mr. Gonzalez, I'm gonna go ahead and excuse you, sir. Thank you for appearing.
Okay, John Mead, we have Juan Jimenez is on page 2 of the docket in the middle.
Yes.
Okay.
He's got 2 violations.
He does have 2.
I
He's
think-
saying not guilty.
Okay, yes.
Okay.
Okay, Mr. Mead, it looks like we have Mr. Jimenez back.
He's back, Your Honor, yes.
Okay, we're all able to reach an agreement.
Yes, we were, Your Honor.
Okay, can you tell me, Mr. Jimenez, listen up. I'm gonna ask you to confirm this, sir. Go ahead, Mr. Mead.
Mr. Jimenez is going to enter a plea of no contest to the possession or delivery of drug paraphernalia. I'm going to recommend 120 days deferred for a special expense fee of $375. I am going to take into consideration and request court to dismiss the expired registration charge.
Okay, Mr. Jimenez, is that your understanding of the agreement, sir?
Yes, sir, that is.
Very good. Okay. All right. Now let me just go ahead and ask you, Mr. Jimenez, initially you had entered a plea of not guilty to the charge of possession or delivery of drug paraphernalia. It's my understanding that you're changing that plea to no contest. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And now, are you doing that freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Did anybody threaten you, force you, or coerce you to change your plea from not guilty to no contest?
No, sir.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and accept your plea of no contest, place you on deferred for 120 days with a special expense fee of $375. I'm going to go ahead and show that the state is taking into consideration the charge of an expired registration, and that charge will be dismissed. Now, Mr. Jimenez, how is the $375 going to be paid, sir?
I have a debit or, I have a debit card.
Well, you're going to pay today.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Do you have the phone number to call that in, sir?
It's right there on the screen, Mr. Jimenez. 648-4923.
Yes, sir, I have it.
Okay. All right. If you will call before the end of the day, sir, they'll go ahead and take care of that, and you'll be placed on deferred.
All right, Judge, thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Have a good day.
You too.
Okay, now we have Guadalupe Garcia on page 4, John, toward the bottom. 4 violations.
Yeah.
Number 11.
Mr. Oh, there you go. Okay.
All right. Okay,
Mr. Mead, let's see, you were with Guadalupe Garcia.
that's correct, Your Honor.
Okay, were y'all able to reach an agreement?
Mr. Garcia's got again, a couple things he needs to take care of, including paying a late registration fee. He did get it done and within a week, but he's got on May 12th, he's got another violation set on the docket in China Grove. And so he wanted to try to get all of them at one time.
Okay, so we want to reset him for May 12th?
If with the court's permission.
Yeah, that'll work. That'd be fine. So I'm going to go ahead and reset Mr. Garcia's case to May the 12th, 2021.
All right.
Okay, Mr. Garcia, do you have any questions, sir?
No, sir. Thank you.
Very good. Okay, unless we need something else from Mr. Garcia, I'm going to go ahead and release him. Okay, Mr. Garcia,
God bless you.
You're free to go. Thank you, sir.
God bless.
Thank you.
Okay, Zulma Alvarez is the next on the docket for you on page 2 in the middle, John. Ms. Alvarez, please unmute yourself, okay?
Okay, Mr. Me, let's
I've
see.
got a question for you, Judge.
All right, go right ahead.
Ms. Alvarez is the lady who was here that time that her immigration lawyer is going to give me a call.
Oh, yes.
Right. I never got that call, and Ms. Alvarez's daughter just told me that the reason I didn't get the call is because her immigration lawyer wanted $1,000 to give me a call. I'm thinking, okay.
Oh
Okay.
my God.
But I want to dispose of these tickets, but I don't want to mess up her immigration. And the problem we got is that it's that the speeding 30, 45 and a 35 is construction zone workers present. I wonder if it's possible for me to reduce that charge to construction zone no workers present.
Well, certainly, I mean, you can amend your complaint, and if the,
Because from what she's telling me, she was stopped substantially before the construction zone. I could tell her to plead not guilty and come try her case, but she wants to dispose of it, and she can do that and get deferred if we just
okay,
recommend she be convicted of a lesser offense of construction zone without workers present.
my only concern is that we certainly don't want to make any representations as to what effect the disposition of these.
No.
Yeah.
She understands that. She
Okay.
understands that. Only thing she told me she wanted was to keep them off her driving record.
Okay,
And if that's her concern, then she understands. In fact, her attorney, she said the attorney told her that the attorney told her that she shouldn't be driving. But so I guess maybe the attorney gave an opinion on that, but she believes that if they're not on her record, that will not affect her immigration status. I do not know the answer to that question, and I'll make sure she understands that I'm not telling her that will not have an effect on her immigration status.
right. Well, and I think the other thing we need to make her aware of is that if we do place her on deferred, make sure that she complies with all the terms. We certainly don't want to revoke her and enter.
It'll be on a record, yeah.
Exactly.
Let me go back in with her. I think we're going to resolve all that.
Okay, all right. Okay, Mr. Mead. Okay, we have Mrs. Alvarez back.
Yes. Okay, Your Honor, we were able to work out a plea bargain.
Okay. Does she speak English?
No,
Okay, was there
she's
somebody
got her
there?
daughter there with her.
Yes.
Oh, okay, and your name?
I'm Daniela Olvera.
Oh, Daniela. Okay, all right, well, why don't you stand by Daniela so you can listen to all this, okay?
Okay.
Okay, Mr. May, what do we have?
Okay, Your Honor, for a plea of no contest on the speeding violation, I'm going to recommend the court find her guilty of a lesser offense of speeding construction zone without workers present.
Okay,
The speed was 45 and a 35, so I'm recommending 90 days deferred for a special expense fee of $300.
okay,
On the no driver's license, state's recommending 30 days deferred for the special expense fee of $300. On the failure to maintain insurance, state's recommending 6 months deferred, condition maintain insurance for the entire period of the probation, special expense fee of $300. On the failed to report change of address, I'm going to take that into consideration and request the court to dismiss that. All of the special expense fees totaling $900 will be paid today.
okay, and she's entering pleas of no contest to the speeding, the no driver's license, and the insurance?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Okay. Okay, Miss Alvarez, you have is it your daughter or daughter-in-law?
Daughter.
Daughter, okay. And what was your last name again, ma'am?
Olvera.
Volvera?
Olvera. Olvera.
Okay. Okay, and Miss Olvera, does your mom understand that she has a right to an interpreter, but that she wants to use you as an interpreter?
Yes.
Is that correct? Okay. All right. What I'm going to do is, so it won't get too convoluted, I'm going to go ahead and go offense by offense and tell me if this is the agreement. With regard to the charge of speeding in a school zone, she is going to plead to speeding in a construction zone without workers present, and she'll be placed on deferred for 90 days with a special expense fee of $300.
That is correct.
Okay, and can she acknowledge that's her understanding?
Sí.
Yes,
Yes, okay.
yes, I understand.
Okay, now to the charge of no driver's license, it's my understanding that she's entering a plea of no contest, will be placed on deferred for 30 days with a special expense fee of $300. Is that
Yes.
correct?
Yeah.
Okay. With regard to the failed to provide evidence of insurance, she's being placed on deferred with a special expense fee of $200, maintain insurance for 6 months. Is that her understanding?
That is
Yes.
correct.
Okay. And then with regard to the failed to report change of address, the state is going to dismiss that charge.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Okay, very good. And it's my understanding, I'm going to go ahead and grant the terms as per the plea bargain agreement that we just set out. And it's my understanding that she will pay a total of $900 today. Is that correct?
Yes.
Very good. Okay, do y'all have the phone number to call that in? It's right there on the screen.
I do not.
Cash, ¿a dónde está para que vaya me lleve tu papá?
Or can we go to the court today and pay it in
Sure.
cash?
Sure. Yeah, that would be great.
Is it the address that's on the paperwork that we received?
Yes, ma'am. 2412 FM 1516 South,
2412 FM.
1516 South.
Okay, thank you. Then we'll
Thank
go right
you.
now in person to pay that.
Great.
Great.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you, ma'am. Gracias,
you.
Ms. Alvarez.
Gracias a todos. Muchísimas gracias por ayudarme, señor juez.
Seguro. Tenga buen día.
Igualmente.
Okay, John Mead, we have William Ray Lucas. He is on page 5. Like the second person on the list.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Mr. Lucas, if you can unmute yourself.
All right.
Okay,
Can you hear me?
yes, sir. Mr. Bigley, you'll be next. Oh, thanks.
Ah,
Hello?
yeah,
Mr.
Hello?
Mr.
My
Lucas.
video. Yes, Your Honor.
Now, we had him on video earlier, right?
Yes.
My video went out. It says your video is stopped.
Oh, okay.
So I do.
All right, so we're gonna do, Mr. Lucas and I had a conversation. Mr. Lucas wants to do straight fines on 2 of these charges. On the, let's see, where is it? On the suspended license case? Or the invalid license case, he's gonna pay $250 as straight fine.
Okay.
On the possession or delivery of drug paraphernalia, straight fine of $375. He's going to plead no contest to both of those. I'm going to take into consideration or ask the court to dismiss the expired registration. And Mr. Lucas is going to pay the fine and court costs on the driver's license case today, and he's going to need time pay on the drug paraphernalia case. Is that your understanding of our agreement, Mr. Lucas?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, so he's paying the fine and the court cost on the driving while license invalid. And what is he paying on the possession charge?
The total is $375.
And how much of that is, okay,
He needs time pay on that, Your Honor.
on that one, okay. Okay, very good. Okay, Mr. Lucas, is that your understanding of the agreement, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, to the charge of driving while license invalid, is my understanding you wish to plead no contest, is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and I'm gonna go ahead and accept your plea of no contest, assess a fine of $250, of which you would pay that today. With
Yes, Your Honor.
regard to the possession or delivery of drug paraphernalia, I'm gonna go ahead and accept your plea of no contest, enter a straight pay of $375, and we're gonna put that on a time pay. And then with regard to required registration, the state is taking that into consideration, and that charge will be dismissed. Okay, Mr. Mead, did I miss anything?
I don't believe so, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Lucas, do you have any questions, sir?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, now you need to call the number that we gave earlier so you can make that payment on the driving while license invalid.
Okay, I wrote that down. Yes, sir.
You wrote it down? Okay, very good. Clarissa, do we need anything else for Mr. Lucas?
No, as long as he calls us, we can get anything we need from him at that time.
Okay, Mr. Lucas, I'm gonna go ahead and excuse you. Make sure you call today, sir.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Right away. Okay. You're welcome.
Okay, Mr. Mead, I have Bigley, and Keith is on, I don't know where Keith is. Oh, he's on the second page. Okay, Keith is on page 5 at the top.
Who now? Wait a minute.
Keith Bigley. Oh, you might not have him on yours because you were in a breakout room. He should be on the top of page 5.
Who I have on the top of page 5 is Mr. Hinkle.
Right.
Well,
Bigley's
oh,
on
okay. You're probably right because we moved them around.
Bigley's on page 3, number 17.
Okay. I got it.
Got him?
Yes.
Okay, sorry. Oh. Okay, I'm gonna open the room now.
Okay, Mr. Mead, Mr. Bigley, if you can unmute yourself, sir. There we go. Thank you. Okay,
Mis-
Mr.
Your Honor, Mr. Bigley's gonna have to clean up a couple of things before we can do anything on these tickets. So he thinks he can get, it's not, he can get it done within 30 days if you give him a 30-day reset. This is Mr. Bigley's first appearance.
Okay, all right, Mr. Bigley, do you think we can get it done in 30 days, sir?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and reset the case for 30 days.
Awesome.
Clarissa, do we need anything from Mr. Bigley?
Mr. Bigley, are you still on Lake Bend?
No, ma'am. I just moved.
Okay, can you call the office number and give us your new number? So, I mean, your new address so that we can mail your paperwork of your court date to you?
Sure will.
Okay, thank you. That'd be great.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Bigley, for your patience, sir.
No problem. Thank you, sir.
Have a good day.
You too.
I think we have Mr. Garcia next.
We do.
Now I'm looking at Mr. Henkel.
Mr. Hinkle is going to be after Mr. Juan Garcia. We actually have before.
we get there, I want to point out that I looked at the thing. He's 16 years old.
Yes, and his mother's with him.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
Mr. Garcia is on page 1, John.
Thank you, Judge.
Mhm.
Yes, he has 3 violations, John.
Okay,
I think this is his 3rd reset.
okay.
Mr. Hinckley, can you unmute yourself, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay, now you're 16 years old and this one you have your mother with you?
Yes, sir. All right. Yes, sir.
Okay, and Ms. Hinckley, what is your name?
My name is Rosemary Noriega.
Okay, Ruth Noriega?
Rosemary.
Rosemary, okay, I'm sorry. Rosemary Noriega. Okay, and you are Jeremy's mother?
Jeremiah, yes, I'm his mother.
Jeremiah, I'm sorry, okay. Okay, I just wanted to get your name for the, for my information here, so we'll be with y'all shortly.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, we have Mr. Mead back, but I don't
Goodness.
see Mr. Garcia yet.
Mr. Garcia is back, Your Honor.
Okay, very good. Okay, Mr. Mead, were y'all able to reach any kind of an agreement?
Well, no, not exactly, Your Honor, but Mr. Garcia understands that he got his last reset, so what he needs to do is just get a time pay on the tickets. Of course, he's going to plead guilty to the driver's license case and fail to maintain an insurance case. I don't believe that that under the circumstances, if he's pleading guilty to failure to maintain insurance, I don't think the state can pursue prosecution on failure to provide evidence of insurance because we've discussed that one before. So I'm going to no price the failure to provide evidence of insurance, and he's going to pay the recommended fines on the other 2. He needs time to pay.
Okay. Okay, Mr. Garcia, is that your understanding, sir, as to what we're going to do with your cases?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, let me just make some notes here.
Judge, can I point out on the first violation, driving while license invalid, it shows the total is 266. It's actually 236.
236, okay.
Yes, sir. The breakdown's right, but the total was wrong.
Okay. Okay, all right, Mr. Garcia, to the charge of driving for a license invalid, sir, how do you plead?
No contest, sir.
Okay, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and accept your plea of no contest, assess a fine of $236 and give you time to pay. To the charge of failed to maintain insurance, how do you plead?
No contest, sir.
Okay, I'm gonna accept your plea of no contest, assess a fine of $266. I'm gonna go ahead and dismiss the failed to provide evidence of insurance as the state is non-prosecuting that charge. Okay,
Thank you.
Mr. Mead, is there anything else I need to address?
Nothing that I'm can think of, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Garcia, do you have any questions, sir?
No, sir. I'll call the lady just right now, and I'll probably make arrangement with her, payment arrangement, everything.
Very good. Okay, make sure you call today.
Hey, Mr.
Yes, sir.
Mr.
Nice day.
Garcia, Mr. Garcia,
Yes, ma'am.
you're going to be on a payment
I'm sorry?
plan for, you're going to be on a payment plan for both of those violations?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so are you still on Borchers Drive?
Yes, correct.
Okay, you don't need to call us. What I'll do is I'll just mail the payment plan information to you. You'll need to sign one of them and return it to us, okay?
Okay, that's fine, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you for that.
Okay, yes, so you're good for the day. You don't have
Yes,
to call
ma'am.
us. Okay.
Thank you very much.
you,
Have a
sir.
nice day. Bye-bye.
All right, thank you, bye. All right, John, we have Jeremiah Hinkle and his mother. I believe her name is Rosemary Noriega, and they are going to go in a breakout room with you.
Okay.
He's a juvenile.
Join.
You need to unmute. Okay.
Mr. Hinkle, can you unmute yourself, sir? There we
Okay.
go. Thank you. Okay, Mr. Mead, what do we have?
Well, Mr. Hinkle, with his mother's permission, is entering pleas of guilty to all 5 charges. I'm recommending the court follow the recommended fines, but Mr. Hinkle's mother, since he's 16 years old, of course, is the one that's on the hook for the money, and she'd like to request the court. She understands that if it doesn't work out, that the fines will come back and have to be paid. But I was just explained to me that these parents were having a very difficult time with this young man, and they were getting, Miss Hinkle was getting, your name's not Miss Hinkle. What is your name, ma'am? I forgot.
Noriega.
Rosemary Noriega.
Noriega. Ms. Noriega wants to see if the court will give him community service, just to try to get him to take responsibility for his own acts.
Okay. Ms. Noriega, what kind of problems are you having with Jeremiah?
So he runs away a lot. I have filed missing persons reports every time he's ran away. Sorry, my mom is calling. And he skipped school for like 2 months straight. The last time he ran away, he was gone for 5 days, which was is terrible. And Jeremiah, and he came back home with this. He's very defiant. He has been selling vape products, and like in wholesale kind of like quantity. Like we got in his room, and we just boxes and boxes, and I found marijuana in his room.
Well, I think I've heard enough, Ms. Noriega. I'm very disappointed to hear that from Jeremy. Jeremy, what's the problem? Or Jeremiah?
Yes.
Okay. Well, let's go ahead and do this. Let's go ahead and take his pleas. Mr. Hinkle, were you present when I admonished everyone of their constitutional rights?
No.
We went to the courthouse because we didn't know about the Zoom thing.
Okay, well, let me go ahead and give you some admonishments, because I want to take a plea from you, and then we'll have to decide what I'm going to do. Mr. Hinkle, to the charge of, okay, well, let me back up. The cases that we handle at this level are Class C misdemeanors, which means they're criminal in nature. As a result of that, it triggers certain constitutional rights. Now, you have a right to remain silent. You don't have to say anything that would incriminate yourself, which would include a plea of guilty or no contest. You have a right to have a trial, plead not guilty, and have a trial in front of a judge or a jury. You have the right to bring in witnesses to testify on your behalf. And you also have the right to cross-examine the state's witnesses. Do you understand those rights?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What grade are you in, Mr.
I was sophomore in high school.
I'm sorry?
A sophomore in high school.
Warren High School. Do you understand the rights that I just informed you about?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. To the charge of running a red light, how do you plead?
Guilty.
To the charge of operating a motor vehicle with only one license plate, how do you plead?
Guilty.
To the charge of operating a motor vehicle without registration insignia, how do you plead?
Guilty.
And to the charge of no driver's license, how do you plead?
Guilty.
Okay. Now, if you don't have a license, why are you driving a vehicle on public roads?
Yeah. It's my fault.
Yeah, it is your fault, but what I want to know is that why are you taking a vehicle onto the road without a driver's license?
You wanted to go.
There was no reason for me to.
Okay. I mean, you understand that you're not supposed to be driving, right?
Yes, sir.
And we didn't let him get his license when he turned 16 because his behavior was so bad. He's not responsible enough to be driving. So we want him to meet those milestones. And if he's not gonna, his behavior is not gonna meet where it should be maturity level wise, when those milestones hit, that's why we didn't let him get it. And he left because he wanted to. And the moped was for our land. We have some land in Marion, and it was for just recreational on the land. It wasn't even, that's why it didn't have registration or license plates or insurance or anything, because it wasn't meant for the road. And he took it, and it did.
Jeremiah, let me ask you this. If I order community service, are you going to do it?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, I want you to make sure that you understand what you're telling me.
Yes, sir.
Because I do not expect your mother or anybody else to pay for your mistakes.
And no one should.
Okay? That would be too easy, and it would let you off the hook, which I'm not going to do. So I don't expect your parents to pay a penny. But what I do expect is for you to do community service. All right. And if you don't do community service, okay, then you're going to have to come before me again, and I'm not going to be a very happy camper at that point. Okay. Mr. Mead, did y'all discuss at all the number of community service hours?
We did not talk about that, Your Honor, but the fines total up a little over $1,000.
Okay. All right, let me figure what that would be.
Judge, did you get a plea on I think I missed one. Did you get a plea on the no insurance?
You're absolutely right. I did not get one. To the charge of failed to maintain insurance, how do you plead?
Guilty.
Okay. Let me see what we're going to do here. Okay, looks like we're looking at $985. Okay. I'm going to give you a chance, Jeremiah, to prove yourself. Okay?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to go ahead and accept your plea of running a red light. And I'm going to assess the fine of $270. I'm going to accept your plea of guilty to the charge of operating a motor vehicle with one license plate, assess a fine of $141. I'm going to accept your plea of operating a motor vehicle without registration insignia. Assess a fine of $141. I'm going to accept your plea of no driver's license and set a fine of $167. I'm going to go ahead and accept your plea of failure to maintain insurance and assess a fine of $266. But what I'm going to do, okay, did we lose Mr. Hinkle? There we
Yeah,
are.
sorry. My husband's calling.
Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and give you a chance to prove yourself.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm going to put you on deferred for $985, of which you're going to do 40 hours of community service in lieu of the fine, but then I'm going to probate 38 hours, which means this: you're going to do 40 hours of community service. And if you do 40 hours of community service, then you're done. You won't have to do the additional 38 hours. But if you don't do the 40 hours, you're going to have to do the 78. And at that point, I may revoke you. And then all these will be judgments against you. And they're going to go, the red light and the insurance and the dual driver's license are going to be reported to DPS. So when you do get your license, all these tickets will be waiting for you. And you know what happens when they're waiting for you? That means the insurance company is going to find out about it. And when you grow up and you become more responsible, you're going to pay a high premium of insurance because you're a high risk. Okay.
Yes,
now, in addition to that, I'm going to go ahead and place you on deferred for 6 months, 180 days. And the reason I'm doing that, Mr. Henkel, is because I want to keep you under my control. If you don't do what you told me you were going to do, you're going to come back and see me. And if it comes back that you didn't do your hours, or you're giving your parents problems, I'm not going to be very kind to that. So this is your chance to prove yourself that instead of doing 78, you only do 40 and you wind up getting them dismissed. But you mess up, we're going to revoke you, or I'm going to revoke you.
Yes, sir.
All right. And then we're going to have to deal with this again. So I hope you understand this sweet deal that you're really getting from the court, because I'm really bending over backwards for you to prove yourself.
I
You
understand,
understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right. Do you have any questions of what I expect from you?
No, sir.
All right. Ms. Noriega, do you have any questions? Or is there any additional conditions you would want me to impose on Jeremiah?
No cussing.
I want total respect towards your parents. I'm going to make that as a condition. I want a total respect towards your parents. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right. Mr. Mead, is there anything else?
Nothing that I can think of, Your Honor.
Okay. Jeremiah, do you have any questions of me?
Yes, actually I do. When does it start? When can I start?
It's going to start tomorrow. The
And-
paperwork will be done today. So your first day that you're eligible to doing community service, and you're going to do them at a church and a civic organization, or a civic organization. And I'm going to give you 90 days. That's 3 months to do 40 hours.
So how do I
Fine.
yeah,
We just call churches and say, what opportunities do you have for community service?
Community service. A church, the American Red Cross, the Humane Society, anything that's a civic organization. And then you're going to get them to report the hours on their letterhead. I'm going to know the dates, the time that you worked, and the type of work that you did. And I need someone to sign off on it.
We actually have a form we give them with the total amount of hours due, and then we'll give them another form that has a breakdown for each time they work. Like say they work 3 hours one day, then the place that they're working actually has to sign off on those 3 hours, and they keep, it's like a log.
Okay, okay. How soon can we get that to them?
Well, we can put it in the mail to, well, now, not till
We
tomorrow
can
morning.
swing by and pick it up if that's an option.
We'll be here tomorrow from 8 to 3. So if you want to do that, that's great. Whatever's easier for y'all.
I'll come by and get it.
Okay. So let me see, make sure I have this straight, Judge. I'm going to do deferred forms, put them on deferred for each violation for 180 days for the cost of the fine. Well, the cost of the total
Yes.
of
And then
each
we're gonna-
violation. I'm also going to put on there that he has as a condition total respect toward parents during this probationary period.
Yes, and in
And-
addition to that, no driving without a license.
And no driving without license. And then I'm going to prepare the community service forms as well for 40 hours total.
Well,
and
no, it's a
then-
total of 78 hours.
So I'll put 78 on there, but he only has to do 40 if he completes them in the 90 days.
Yes, then that'll be, the rest of the hours would be abated.
Okay.
So do we just, once he gets those hours, we just bring it back to y'all and turn it in?
And then he'll stay on probation, even, when he turns those in within 90 days, he would stay on probation for the entire 180 days where he can't be cited.
120, I think.
No, 180.
180.
186 months. Yes, the condition of no driving and not being, or not to be disrespectful, runs for the entire 6 months.
Okay, and also, Judge, on the no insurance violation for the deferred on that, does he need to get insurance without a license or anything? Or are we
No.
just gonna bypass
We
that
didn't
one?
even get pick up the moped out of impound. Like we
Okay.
just left it because like it's a hazard in the house and because we can't control it.
No, Clarissa, we're not going to require him to have insurance, but he's
Okay.
not going to be driving. Right, Jeremiah?
No
You're not gonna be
driving.
driving?
Right.
May you please repeat that, sir?
You're not going to be driving, right?
No, sir.
All right. I don't even care if it's from the front of the driveway to the end of the driveway. You are not to get behind that wheel.
Yes, sir.
All right. Clarissa, is there anything else? Now, the community service is in lieu of the fines,
Yes.
right? Okay. All right.
Okay, and y'all are on Loring Park. Okay, that's where we'll get everything prepared for. If you decide tomorrow you can't come by and pick it up, let me know and I'll put it in the mail tomorrow.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay?
Now, Jeremiah, do you have any other questions? I don't want there to be any doubt in your mind of what I'm expecting of you.
I understand it fully.
All right. Okay, I believe you're gonna do it, so don't let me down.
Yes, sir.
Ms. Noriega, if you have any problems, with respect, you call Clarissa and we'll get him back on the docket so fast, his head's gonna spin.
Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate
Okay. All right, Jeremiah, I'm counting
You
on you.
got this.
All right, y'all are excused. Thank you.
it. Thank you.
Okay, I think we've called the docket.
We
and
have,
We are adjourned.
let me get them off.
Ugh.
Wow,
Man,
that's